Let's recap Denver's 2025 NFL draft, and we'll give a grade as well for all the picks Denver made. And this is a draft class that not all of Broncos country is really in love with. Started off with a surprise pick in round one, Jahdae Barron, a very good, versatile corner. Denver got a good football player. Don't lose sight of that, even though it wasn't a running back and it wasn't a big position of need, given you've got PS2, Riley Moss, Jaquan McMillan. Don't lose sight of good teams are built with good players. Barron, Jim Thorpe Award winner, best DB in college football last year, good player. More on that in a little bit. Then, this is where things kind of started going downhill for me. RJ Harvey, Pat Bryant. I like Sai'vion Jones. And then to open up day 3 of the NFL draft, Q Robinson from Alabama. And at this point, I felt like Sean Payton was just toying with us. Because when people were already kind of pissed about the draft class thus far, he goes punter from Florida in round 6, which in his defense, they kind of needed a new punter anyway. And then to round it out, if you thought that was like the quirkiest pick, he takes a Utah basketball player, Caleb Lohner from Utah, who had 4 grabs last year. He's a 6'8 6'8 basketball player who played both sports for the Utes. Maybe he can be the next Mo Alley Cox or Antonio Gates. But my grade for all of Denver's picks put together, C-. Listen, no one likes the guy who's negative after the draft. I get that. I'm not trying to pass it off as I know more than Sean and George Payton do. But my opinion on this draft is it was not a very good draft class for Denver. They went into this draft with a big need at running back. I don't think RJ Harvey really satisfies that need. The only pick I truthfully liked was Jahdae Barron. And I wasn't even all that in love with the selection at the time just because I don't really know, and I still don't exactly know where he fits in. He's going to be a nickel corner in the NFL. He's not going to be an outside guy. Riley Moss's job is not at jeopardy here. But what was wrong with McMillan? You had a good thing going there. Could Barron be better? Yes. I could believe that. But is he so much better that it's worth letting Omari and Hampton go to the Chargers and then you get a running back at pick 60, like the 7th running back taken in the draft? That I disagree with, right? I would say I'd rather have Hampton at 20 and then a corner at 60. I would have reversed those 2 picks right there. So it's a C- for me. Barron, like I said earlier, he's very talented. He's got great ball skills. I love how he can play all over the field. He's a little bit on the smaller end, but I feel like he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in that secondary with Talanoa Hufanga and Pat Surtain for years to come. So it's a good round 1 pick. It's a best player available type pick. The C- is not stemming from Barron. In fact, Barron is what's keeping it above a D. It starts really at Harvey. And some people like this pick. Some people don't like this pick. I'm part of the latter. Back-to-back seasons of great productivity for the Knights. Started off at Virginia, transfers to UCF, played a lot of college football. He's 24, 6-year senior, suffered a knee injury halfway through his collegiate career. He's on the smaller end. He's 5'8", 200-ish pounds, or a little under 200 even. He's got some good violence to his game, though. Despite his size, he runs bigger than that. 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns. Him and Dylan Sampson, I think, led the country in rushing touchdowns last year. Here's what Brugu had to say about Harvey as a prospect. Ultimately, I think what we saw from Sean Payton here is, hey, I want to go get my guy. I want to go get the guy that I think can do this job. I've got 2 running backs already in McLaughlin and Estime. I'm not looking for a new bell cow back. I'm looking for someone who can fill in the blanks for me. And Harvey does that. And if that's the case and Denver's run game works in the committee and it works well, no complaints on my end. I feel that there's a very real chance that we're going to look back at this draft and go, wow, you passed on Hampton? You passed on Caleb Johnson? You passed on Travion Henderson? Bold decisions right there. Now, before we get on to the rest of the picks Denver made, make sure you subscribe. I would love to get to 35,000 subscribers before the NFL draft is over with, or really before the night is done. So if you haven't yet, scroll on down and click that subscribe button. So after Harvey, if you thought that was like a questionable pick, I'm really at a loss with this one. Like Pat Bryant, some people have said, oh, he's got good body control. He's better than what you'd indicate for an Illinois receiver. Good size. He could win some jump balls. He was Luke Altmaier's go-to guy, 984 yards and 10 touchdowns for the Fighting Illini. I mean, that's unheard of for what usually Illinois offensive football looks like. This seemed like a big reach, right? This seemed like we love him. We can't envision a world without him. We're going to make sure we get him, even if it happens to be in the mid-70s, when most people thought he was a round 5 guy. Could have gotten him maybe in round 4, but instead, Denver, they make a bold pick here. These last 2 selections that we talked about, Harvey and Bryant, those are risky picks. Those are guys that most people don't view as 60th overall and 74th overall. And Sean Payton has done a great job as this team's head coach, but no coach or GM bats 1,000 when it comes to the draft. If I was critical of Patriots draft picks, you'd say you don't know more than Bill Belichick, and I don't know more than Bill Belichick. But I know that N'Keal Harry was a bad first-round pick, and I could have told you that right when it happened. Then Sai'vion Jones, who we'll talk about in more detail in just a moment. But first things first, a quick shout-out to our sponsor today, House of Atlas. It's a new sponsor, a brand new razor company that just hit the market. They actually gave me one of their new razors to try out, and it's honestly the nicest looking razor I've ever owned. The coolest part about it is the precision trim edge that's revealed by flipping back the serum strip for edges and detailing. And the premium razor kits come with magnetic storage hook that you can attach to your bathroom mirror or medicine cabinet for easy storage. And they've got an awesome deal for all of you watching right now. For a limited time, they are offering 15% off your first order when you purchase any razor kit and the before and after set, which includes the precision shave cream and calming aftershave. Use code CHAT at houseofatlas.com. That's HOUSEOFATLAS.com with promo code CHAT for 15% off your new razor kit and before and after set. Stop wasting money and time on shaving products that don't look good, aren't effective, and cost way too much. Visit houseofatlas.com today. Trust me, you're going to love it as much as I did. So moving on to the last pick in day 2 of the draft for Denver, LSU defensive end Sai'vion Jones. This was probably my second favorite pick of the draft, coming in at 101. First thing you got to look at is the size. 6'5", 283. You are getting a great athlete. The production wasn't quite there for him at LSU. Played for a year, started a lot of games there, but you are getting someone who's got a good mold to themselves, right? Who's got good strength, who's got good initial burst. He goes to 101 because he's probably not one of the best athletes in this class for a defensive lineman. He's not Shamir Stewart coming out of A&M, but at 6'5", 283 with that kind of strength and speed, yeah, you can see why a team like Denver at 101 goes, we don't really care how much power we currently have with our pass rush. Let the rich get richer here. I think Jones is going to be a true defensive end in a 3-4 defense. So now you got a little bit of rotation going on at that spot, and you have a potential replacement for 2026 if you more than likely let John Franklin Myers walk. I'm sure Denver's going to work to keep Zach Allen here, but just in case things were to go sideways, you never quite know. I really like adding a little bit more depth at a cornerstone piece. Here's what Brugger had to say on the LSU Tiger. Needs to continue schooling with his hands and pad level, but he plays long, strong, and persistent as a downhill force player against both pass and run. He was someone that I was looking at going into day 3 of the draft of, hey, what would be a best player available type pick? Because rarely, all mock drafts are always built around team needs. They're never just best player available selections. And that was something that I was keeping an eye on for Jones. And I was happy to see him be the pick for Denver late in round 3 after a trade-up. Then we move on to day 3 of the NFL draft, which Denver made a total of 3 selections in rounds 4, 6, and 7. Robinson started 5 games at Alabama. He's an outside linebacker. You've got 4 outside linebackers. Bonito, Cooper, Ellis, Tillman, maybe even Drew Sanders. He's a special teamer. Round 4, good athlete, but I don't see this one. I just don't really see his fit. You took a defensive end pick earlier. You already had the number 1 pass rush in football. Maybe focus your attention elsewhere a little bit, right? I think people are going to laugh at this one the most. I actually don't really mind it. Could you have got him as a UDFA? Sure, possibly. But Riley Dixon left in free agency. You needed to find a new punter for 2025. If he was the best punter in this class, then yeah, why not flip the field even more? And then finally, you got a Utah football and basketball player, 6'8", red zone target. He had 4 grabs for 4 touchdowns. And he's from right down the road from where Chat Sports is in Flower Mound, Texas. So, Caleb, welcome to Broncos country. You and Devon Vele can be roommates. But I like that pick because it's round 7, so at least keep things interesting. And you took a guy who could be the next, like I said, Mo Alley Cox, Antonio Gates, someone who played college basketball and gives a stab at the NFL. We'll see how he is when it comes to going NFL game speed. That's probably going to be a culture shock for him. But at 6'7", hard to miss in the red zone for Bo Nix. I give it a C-. Jahdae Barron to me is like a B to B+ pick. He's a very good player. He should not have been there at 20. I don't like Harvey. I don't like the Harvey pick. I don't like the Bryant pick. I don't like the Q Robinson pick. There's more I dislike than I like for Denver. C- for me. All right, that's going to do it for us on our grades for the Denver Broncos 2025 NFL draft class. But if you think I'm an idiot, that's fine. Let me know what your grade is. I'm sure some of you are going to give them an A, and you're going to give them an A no matter who they picked. But let me know what your grade is for Denver's draft down below in the comment section. Really appreciate everyone for tuning in.